Commission. And roll call.
Bob Zurich,
Present.
John Freitag, Bob Kleppel,
Here.
Kevin Creedy,
Here.
Tessie Steffens,
Here.
Sparky Stuckenschneider,
Here.
Jeannie Miller-Wood,
Here.
Dave Waymeyer, Betty Werner, Gavin Woolley,
Here.
Al Bear,
Here.
Jeff Packey.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes from our December 13th meeting.
Make a motion to approve them.
Who was the second?
Betty.
Betty. Bob Kleppel and Betty Warner. The Parks and Recreation Director's Report.
All right. I have a decent amount of stuff to cover here. A lot of smaller projects going on right now. We had some, I guess it was a few weeks ago, some complaints about when the river was a little bit lower than what it is now. At the end of the boat ramp or boat launch down there, about debris being in the water and people popping their tires on their trailers and stuff like that. And the street department went down there with an excavator and poked around, and they moved a couple rocks around, but nothing major. There is one bigger rock down there that they couldn't, it might be a piece of bedrock actually, they couldn't budge it with the excavator. There was some potholes towards the end of the ramp that they filled with asphalt, but we just didn't find, I received a couple calls and talked to one guy on the phone. We put in a good effort, but we didn't really, I feel like we didn't accomplish much. They didn't really find anything. Didn't really find any major trash or anything like that. Like people were telling me there was a lot of iron and steel and stuff that they thought were popping their tires, but they didn't find anything like that. If they did, it wasn't hardly anything worth mentioning. So I just wanted to give you an update in case you had heard anything or get any questions about that. Lafayette Park, the renovation there is finally moving again. They poured the concrete this week, I think it was. And it looks, or maybe it was last week. It looks good. Stamped concrete, colored. We've backfilled up against it, and I'm just in the beginning stages of working with Dave and some of the garden club members on a design plan for the beds. And then there'll be 2 trees that go back in there and some new plants and lots of mulch, and we'll get it all. We're going to backfill it with good dirt because I think the ladies were a little concerned about that, which I thought they would be. So that'll be an ongoing winter project here, but the biggest thing was to get the concrete poured and get it back in there. So now we can start on our work because we weren't able to really do much until they had that done. So it's moving along. Speaking of the boat ramp, this possibly tomorrow we're going to be removing the second boat dock, courtesy dock down there, and rehabbing it, having it rehabbed like we did last year with composite wood, which turned out really nice. We got a lot of compliments when we put the other one back in the spring, so that was good. Staff have been painting and doing some handiwork, woodworking up at the auditorium. I noticed when we had our staff little holiday lunch thing there, it was kind of getting a little rough, so we did some painting and patching and some replacing some wood and trim and things like that in there just to make it a little more presentable for when we have rentals. Optimist Park, we've been over there cleaning up. We had a pad off of Commodore Drive on city property that we maintain that needed to come out, an old pavilion pad, or not pavilion pad, shed pad that was gravel with some piers that we needed to take out over there for the city. And then we cleaned up in between that what they call the 9th Street buyout and the park, that ditch in there. Some of you may have seen the pictures on Facebook this week. We've been cleaning up. There was a number of ash trees in there and a lot of honeysuckle that we've cleaned up. And if you're coming down 9th Street going west, I guess it would be, it's a much more open view of the park. Before, everything was grown up in that ditch, and you couldn't really see the park when you're coming down 9th Street going west. Now you can see the playground and the bathroom and the skate park and everything. So just a big, much open, bigger feel to the park. And I think from what I heard, the residents that live back there were happy to see the cleanup of the kind of junk trees and ash trees and stuff, so. This is a pretty big event, or big thing. I may have mentioned it in this meeting. At the beginning of December, I applied for an award through MPRA, and, speaking of MPRA, I don't have enough of these magazines. Some of you have a magazine. I only had 4 of them to give out, the park board, but there's an article in the MPRA State Association magazine on Washington in bloom and how well we did this year. So pass it around while I'm talking. Whoever wants to take them home can take them home. I don't have enough for all of you. But I applied for an award on behalf of Downtown Washington, Inc. for the Riverfront Playground Project, and they won. And so in the past, I've been in this association for going on 24 years now. They used to do these awards at the State Association Conference, which is usually at the lake. This year it just happens to be in St. Charles, but during COVID they changed it, and now the State Association, a rep from the association comes to your community and passes out the award. And so I had to do a write-up about the award and about the project, I should say, and they make my write-up into a video then, and they play the video with a bunch of pictures of the project when they present the award, and then they also play it at the State Association Conference for everyone, for all the members to see. And so I've been working with City Council, Darren and the mayor, or not City Council, but Darren and the mayor on finding a date, and we want to do it at a City Council meeting, and just happens to be on February 5th. Downtown Washington is going to be presenting, I guess it was a review of 2023, I'm not sure. But the whole board's going to be here for something that Tyler's presenting to City Council on February 5th. And he already had plans to present the second and final payment check for the playground to City Council or the mayor or city clerk. So that works out well. It'd be a good opportunity where he's handing over a check for the playground. Good picture opportunity. So there will be someone here. I'm shooting for the 5th. I'd like to have Park Board here. If you guys can make it, it'll be February 5th, which is a Monday at 7 p.m. And someone from the State Association will be here presenting the award, and we'll try to have the video up on the screen with the pictures and everything. So I made this announcement today in the core meeting that I attend with other city staff, and Downtown Washington, Inc.'s board president was there, and Tyler hadn't told her yet, and she was very excited, so.
As well he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll try to get out as we get a little bit closer, but if you guys can mark that down on your calendars, it'd be great to have a good showing here at Park Board for that event.
Do we include those who donated towards that project?
Yeah, we probably should invite. I've been too busy. I got to supply 25 to 30 pictures for this. So I've been busy trying to and since they didn't want to do it until after the State Association Conference, which is beginning of March, and I kind of pleaded with them to do it on this date because downtown's already going to be here, and it just seems like a natural. So they're going to do it, but I had to get them pictures like really fast. So I haven't really thought about who all needs to be invited and stuff like that, but I'll get together a list and make sure those people are here if they can make it. That'll be good. And then finally, staff, speaking of MPRA, Missouri Parks and Rec Association, staff participated, like they have the last few years, in a park maintenance rodeo, which is pretty cool. I have some pictures I'll maybe send out tonight. And so this this was at the St. Charles Family Arena. We sent a number of guys there. They have teams, or some of them are teams. They have a project team, which the project this year was building cornhole sets. So this stuff's like, it's a competition amongst other area parks and rec maintenance staff. And so the project was cornhole sets, there's a skid steer competition, a leaf blower competition, and a zero-turn lawnmower competition, and a truck and trailer competition. Like, some of these are, like, the mower is obstacle course, truck and trailer is kind of an obstacle course, and you gotta back in and maneuver the truck and trailer around. The skid steer's kind of an obstacle course, but you're also picking up stuff with the bucket. Like, one year, or I don't know if it's every year, they had like a kettlebell, like a 35 or 50-pound kettlebell, and you had to pick it up with the hooks on the bucket and lift it up and put it on a big, like those big round wooden wheels that cabling and stuff come on. And so I'm happy to report, the first year we did it, which was 2019, we got first place overall, but there wasn't very many teams involved, to be honest. This year they had 19 teams, and we got second in skid steer, and that was Jim Durbin, and second in the truck and trailer competition, which was also Jim Durbin and Jake, our new mechanic. So, pretty cool. Guys really like it. It's something different. It gets them out of the same old monotony of painting at the auditorium and stuff like that, and they're actually doing stuff, showing off their skills that they would use in the field, so. And they give out trophies, and they get a lunch, and it's a big deal, so.
Oh, nice.
We'll go.
I have attended in the past, but I couldn't make it this year. And that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Thanks, Wayne. Any questions or comments? Communications from the audience? Anybody have anything to say?
Audience looks the same as the last Parks meeting.
Old business, plastic bag recycling update?
I'm happy to report that this has gone amazingly well. We have bags coming out of our ears. I have to empty the one, well, I shouldn't say I participate. Tina, our part-time desk clerk, I kind of handed this off to her when you guys first had the idea. And the one at the library, we've been emptying twice a day for the last week. And when I say twice a day, it's like, well, I had to put an extra trash can over there. So there's like a regular black plastic trash can over there with the sticker on the front of it. So we have the regular white box that you guys saw that I brought to the meeting, and a trash can over there. And she has to empty them in the morning, and then I've been checking them in the evening, and they've been full both times. So twice a day they've been full. And so we've already turned in 127 pounds of plastic.
Yay.
It was 55 yesterday.
Yeah, she took some more today, I think. She gave me an update before she left today, so.
Is there a calendar limitation on this project, or will it be forthgoing?
I think, someone else asked that, and I think it's 2 benches a year, a calendar
Is it a
year.
year? Is it a year?
You know, personally, I say, big deal about the benches. Let's keep the plastic out of the landfill.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's a great way to.
well, yeah, true. But I mean, as long, what my question is it, limited
It's
run?
ongoing, is what
Yeah.
you're saying, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of the people that are, I haven't talked to, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if people, like, I normally would just take mine into Schnucks or Walmart, but now I'm bringing them here. So I don't know if that's with everyone, or if people read the article in the paper and the stuff on social media, like, oh, I should do that to help out the park system, that type of thing, so. Either way, it's good.
Took 'em
I think that's great, Wayne. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think we should maybe even put it out, how well it's going. Keep
Oh, yeah, we could
keep
do
the excitement out there,
Yeah.
because that would be well received. I think people would enjoy reading that.
Has John got one up at the bank?
He does.
He does. And
Yeah,
how's
up there-
it doing?
Up this week. I just got up there a couple days ago, actually.
Okay.
He emailed us and said the Christmas tree was gone, so we could put the box up there, so. I personally delivered it myself, so he said he would email when it was full or when it needed to be checked on, so.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? Nope. Miller Post update?
Yes, so I think in the past, our last meeting, I talked about doing a pavilion up there with some of the money that Mark and Lisa Tobin donated. I met with Four Rivers recently, and they were very open to the idea of the students building a pavilion up there, similar to what they did for the shooting range, for the police shooting range. And so the plan would be for them to start in September. And we as in the Parks Department would grade the site. And Gavin, I need to talk to you about this after the meeting too, about location. But grade the site, and then Parks would do the concrete, because it would just, the students they could do the concrete if they had to, but they're not actually at school. Like, it's not like they come in at 7 and get off at 3. They're only there a couple hours a day, and it would be a lot of commuting back and forth and things like that over a period of time. And so it's probably just easier if we did it, and so that's what we agreed on, is my staff will do the pad up there and the grading, and then they'll come in and build everything once we have purchased all the materials. So we'll be working on getting a material list and purchasing that stuff this summer, and have it on site and ready for them to go in September. So
Very good.
they seem really excited about it, so.
Let's see, we're new business, sand plant.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you aware, sand plant gravel lot is out, will be out to bid soon. Staff, we're doing a little bit of grading down there to get it completely flat, or not completely flat, but flatter than what it is right now, before a company comes in to pave it and everything like that. So we're also running conduit down there for future lights. The drawing of the parking lot has some islands in it, and there's not a budget right now for lights, but in the future we figured it probably would be, if we're ever going to do this, now's the time to do it. So we put in some conduit that will be under the pavement, and then we'll possibly have lights in the future. I think would be 4 or 5 lights, if I remember correctly. So that one's street department's, or not street department, engineering's helping me get that out to bid. Also, combined with that would be the repaving of the boat trailer parking lot down there. So the lower parking lot, the asphalt parking lot, it would be bid out at the same time, the gravel plant, or gravel parking lot, and the repaving of the boat trailer lot. So we get a better price, hopefully.
Now, will that continue on to the railroad tracks, basically?
It would continue kind of right to where you come around the curve there by the Flag Plaza, there, cut off like right there in front of the boat launch. That's what they had pictured now, or drawn up right now.
Okay. Next is the Bush Creek Greenway project.
Yes, the Strieger Avenue, Fifth Street, Bush Creek Greenway project, that's getting ready to start, if you will. Street Department is going to tear out the old asphalt Strieger, hopefully I'm saying that right, avenue over there. They've been working with that apartment complex right next door. There's a trash dumpster pad that needs to get moved off of Strieger and onto their drive or their property or their entrance there. And then once that's done, then that'll be poured in concrete. The street department's gonna do that. And so it'll be concrete from where the yellow Balliard is now, kind of right behind the outfield fence of the baseball field, all the way up. Street department will stop it before it gets to Fifth Street, and then that small section, you'll see an empty section there probably for a little bit. That part where the little cul-de-sac or turnaround where the light pole is, like down here on Jefferson, that part will be contracted out because of the electrical pole and everything like that.
So Strieger Avenue, is that, kind of like at the intersection of Fifth Street there at South Point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of have, it's not much of a street, more of an alley.
The old South Point
Yes,
School
it's-
entrance, basically.
Yeah, it's full of
Thank you.
potholes and mud.
Entrance, or, yeah.
It's full of potholes and mud right now.
Thank you.
Okay, Okay, the river washout area along the West Trail project.
I may have mentioned this one along the line. I
You did.
wasn't sure how soon it was gonna actually come to fruition, but, over the summer, well, actually, this started a couple years ago, engineering, and I had met with Corps engineers. We were showing them, not sure if you guys are aware how well you are, with the terrain down there on the West Trail, but on the west, well, not on the trail, but on the riverfront, along the West Trail at St. John's Creek, there's a huge washout where that dike starts, and the water's coming in, kind of bouncing off that dike and coming in and hitting the riverbank on the city side and creating a huge gouge, wash-around area. That's really noticeable now when the river's low, but it gets really taken out in times when we have flooding. And we had showed it to the Corps engineers 2 years ago, and then last year, then again in '22, and then in '23, we met with the Corps twice, I think. And they were committed to doing something this winter. Well, I just got notification last week, they have purchased the rock for that project, which is gonna take a lot of rock. And they need to do it from the bank, and so the agreement we made this summer is that we would work with the railroad and have them come in like we did when we paved the West Trail at the railroad facility up there with the railroad's permission, cross the tracks there, come in through that red gate. They'll have to come down a small section of the trail, so the trail will be closed when they do this. And then we'll have to take out a few trees for them to get access where they can start dumping this rock to fix this washout. They'll likely tear up the trail doing this because they'll have those big trucks hauling lots of rock in. And so they'll be responsible for fixing the trail if they damage it. But that project will likely begin in February. So I'm working with, I've been down to the railroad facility a couple times this week, trying to track down the right person down there to gain permission. They didn't see one person we talked to earlier this week didn't seem to think hopefully probably wouldn't be an issue. We just need to talk to the right person, so. But that would be good, because this has been like that for, when was that? Probably 20 years, I think. It's been on the city's radar for a long time to get this fixed, so.
Will the additional rock on that dike have any bearing or, effect on that washout? They reworked and added a lot of.
They added a lot of rock,
to that
yeah.
dike.
I don't think so. We knew they were gonna do that work. When we met with them, I think it was in September, the last time we met, they were well aware of actually, they were doing that work, some of that work when we were meeting down there. And so I didn't ask that question directly. I had planned to when we meet again, but I would be under the impression that it's not, because they saw it when we were down there, they were doing it when we met in September.
Wayne, do you know if they're gonna fill in the elbow of that wing guy? You know where I'm talking about?
Oh, where it's broke, like where the water comes through?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was wondering, I don't know enough about that stuff. I know in passing, we talked about it, but I don't remember what was said. So I assumed that it was supposed to be like that, but no?
No, it was spilled, all that rock was pushed out. We had a huge rainstorm when the St. John's Bridge was washed out.
Oh, like
Uh-huh.
2006 or something? Or, okay.
2000,
99. It was 99, because I was living there.
It was 2000.
May of
You're
2000.
absolutely correct.
May?
May of 2000.
St. John's Creek was over top of Highway 100 in the May of 2000,
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get out of town,
May 6th.
or you couldn't go,
Do you remember it?
Highway 100 was on water out by there.
Wow.
Whole trailer, DNH trucking.
I'm surprised they haven't, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't mentioned that or didn't do anything with it when they were here. But I can ask, definitely. Well, this has been taking
Only
quite a while.
23
so,
years.
yeah.
Well,
Anything-
Where exactly are you talking about, Doug?
You know, the dike, we call it the rock wall.
Yep.
If you're looking where the boat club is, if you go upriver, there's a space there, it's always been there.
Right.
You keep going
Yep, okay.
During that huge storm,
Oh,
Yeah.
cut a hole in there.
that's where, now, I thought you were talking about somewhere else. That's where that's what they're fixing.
Right.
Yeah. That where it like, it comes around the dike and then cuts right into the bank of the,
There's two places where the elbow is, that was washed up, and then way back there, close to the bank, like you said, that was washed out too.
yeah.
Even worse, so,
I think they're planning on fixing both of them,
good.
that whole general area there.
Okay. Anything else on the washout or anything? The master plan?
So I have a RFP out, so request for proposals for firms to develop a park master plan. That went out earlier this week. I sent it to a number of individual firms that I know do that kind of work, and they all responded and said they'd take a look at it. And so there'll be a small committee, once we get some plans back. The plans are due, or the proposals are due back February 5th, I
Fifth.
think. And then we have a small committee that will review those plans. And then eventually, a firm will be selected, taken to city, the contract will be developed, taken to city council. Then, once we have a firm on hand, then is when we'll start needing information, we'll start meeting with you guys, getting thoughts, just like some of you guys attended the city comp plan, just like some of those meetings. So start thinking about, all things parks and what you want to see and what we need and what we don't need. And, or like I mentioned before, we're going to have them look at staffing and all kinds of things. So not just, pretty things in the park. We need financial numbers and things like that too for planning, so.
Okay, next is the rental fees review.
Yes, here in the near future, we may need to get the park facility rental fee committee back together. That was started 5 years ago when I started. We have a few fees that we need to review. Most of the fees that we're looking at, a lot of the stuff we're looking at is like, because a lot of these have been in place for 5 years now, or almost 5 years, lowering deposits and things like that. Maybe not even necessarily the actual fees, but the deposits. But most of those have the tag, whatever that line was put in about the CPI, Consumer Price Index. And so those don't necessarily, if we were raising them, they don't necessarily have to go to council for approval anymore. We can raise them every year if needed, and we haven't raised any of them in 5 years, I can tell you. But there are a few outstanding ones that have popped up over the years that were not approved or not changed back in 2019 that we would need council approval on, that are in the city code. So staff and I are working on those right now, and in the near future, we may need to get the committee back together.
Okay. Are those, all the fees, I mean, you're talking about, what, rentals of the pavilions and?
Yeah, facilities and stuff like that, but like those fees.
About the sports teams, nothing?
No, nothing like that, not the fields.
Okay. All right. Any other questions there? Anybody want to say anything? Does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Bob.
Wait,
It says February 7th, and the second, don't we usually meet the second Wednesday?
Oh.
Which would be Valentine's
Oh,
Day. Gosh,
Yeah, it'd be oh, yeah,
and night.
so that'd be the 14th, right? It'd be the 14th. I don't know why I put the 7th.
that is evil.
To avoid Valentine's Day, it's really romantic.
You got a date that night.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't-
Which one do you want to do?
I don't care. So it's
Okay.
February
I'm okay
14th?
with the 7th, I mean, but I didn't know if we were going
it
Yeah,
should
good
be the second, it should be the second Wednesday.
to, right, but
Yeah.
it's Valentine's Day.
Well, I'll bring chocolate.
Yeah.
Valentine's with all of these people?
Can
This
most
is
people
recorded.
make
He
it
is on record.
I am on record.
we heard it,
if-
chocolate.
If I can remember it, I'll bring it.
Now, you don't get to quantify it after that.
You have to call me to remind me, okay?
It's Ash Wednesday also.
It's Ash Wednesday.
And
So fish-free chocolate,
are you making a
Oh,
motion
okay.
to change the
What does that
date
mean?
or-
meat-free chocolate.
All right, who's gonna
She
bring the
wants
ashes?
fish, She wants ashes, she wants chocolate.
So we'll keep it the 14th, and it sounds like most people can make it?
Yeah, it doesn't make me any difference.
Yeah, that's,
We're finished like this, it doesn't make a bit of difference.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't make a
but-
bit of difference.
She's not gonna be here either.
So we have
Oh,
at
well,
least
then it
two.
doesn't matter, let's just keep it the 14th.
14th, okay.
Too bad.
Sorry about the mistake.
Come in for chocolate. Okay. Now,
14th then?
Yes, 14th.
Okay.
14th it is, and the motion to adjourn was Bob, D, and Jeannie. Jeannie.
What did you,
Jeannie. Right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nobody's opposed. See you on Valentine's Day
with chocolate
with chocolate.
in hand. Not just one piece, count the number of people that are here.